morning, boys and girls. I'm Diana, your Bricks Kids story presenter, and I'm going to take you on today's Bible adventure. One of the things that made the Wild Wild West so dangerous was the very thing that people loved about it. There were no big cities and no crowded communities out west. That made life grand for the folks who wanted to spread out and to have a little elbow room. But that also made life grand for the outlaws. You see, with folks spread as far as they were in the west, it became very difficult to enforce the law. A bunch of armed bandits could knock off a farm or bank or a stagecoach and be miles away before anyone even mounted a horse to chase after them. The Old West wasn't lawless, but those who wanted to break the law had a very easy time of it. Eventually, the long arm of the law caught up with most of the West's most wanted men. When the law did go after the bad guys, they didn't just round up the boys who pulled off the hold-ups. They wanted everyone who was in cahoots with them. If you gave food and water to the bad guys, if you gave a place for them to rest or hide, if you gave them information on anything that helped them in their illegal activity, you were in cahoots. You may not have pointed a gun at the bank teller, but if you did anything to help the gang, the Doubting Gang, the James Gang, or any band of outlaws, you were going to do jail time. One of the best examples of this story is the men and women who were convicted for helping John Wilkes Booth assassinate Abraham Lincoln. There was only one man who fired the gun that killed the president. But when justice was served, 3 men and 1 woman were executed for being in cahoots with Booth. If you're in cahoots, you're up to no good. You're doing something dishonest in the hopes you can get away with it. You might not be the one telling the lies or doing the dirty deed, but if you're in cahoots, you're just as guilty. Dishonesty can undo a lifetime of good deeds in a flash. It can tear friendships and families apart. That's the lesson we read in today's Bible story about a boy and his mum who were in cahoots. Now, let's meet this mum and let her tell us the story. See you right after this song.
Who am I
married to my beloved husband Isaac. I desperately wanted a baby, and my Isaac prayed for me. What a sweetheart. And you would never believe that after 20 long years of trying, God blessed us with not one, but twin boys. And I might add that they fought with each other from in my womb, which after speaking with God, he told me that my eldest would serve my youngest. From the day they were born, I had a special bond with my youngest. The two were so different. Esau, my firstborn, was red and hairy. He was my husband's favourite. Maybe because they had so much in common. The years passed, and the rivalry between my two boys continued. We were now in our twilight years, and my beloved Isaac was now feeble and blind. After overhearing a conversation between Isaac and Esau about receiving his traditional blessing as the eldest, I saw this as an opportunity to take things into my own hands and help God's plan for my favourite Jacob. Sorry, did I say that aloud? To deceive Isaac so that Jacob and not Esau would get that blessing, making him the ruler over his older brother. I set about quickly putting my plan in place. I was in cahoots with my boy Jacob to deceive his father. So, whilst Esau was out putting in the hard work as usual, I borrowed Esau's clothes and made Jacob's hands, neck and chest hairy so that he could look, smell and feel like his brother. Isaac would be none the wiser because remember, he could no longer see, and besides, it was only a little lie. What harm could it do? I made food as he had asked for and sent Jacob in, ready for his blessing. And guess what? Isaac blessed Jacob and gave him everything. Soon after Esau returned home, realizing what had happened, he was heartbroken. He begged and pleaded with his father, but sadly, there was nothing left for him. He became so angry. I had to protect Jacob as I feared for his life and what Esau would do to him. So, with great sadness, I had to send my baby away. My dishonesty had cost my family greatly. Esau hated his brother and wanted to kill him. Jacob fled, which meant I never ever got to see my dear son again. And his father died knowing that his son lied to him. My story is a perfect example that shows us just how quickly even a little dishonesty can rob us of all God's blessings. This has been me, Diana, your Brits Kids story presenter. Until next time!